And I do want to start with an interesting thought that I guess has been percolating in my mind more and more. So if you remember, if you listen on Monday, but if not, I'll let you know. So we had Joe DeLuisio on Monday's show. He is the host of the Sharp Cheddar podcast, a Packers podcast. He is a Packers fan. He is in the media as well. So he was able to look at this from really both perspectives, a fan perspective and a media perspective. And we were kind of talking, hey, what's the future of Aaron Rodgers? And said he's going to get traded. Is he going to sit out? Is he going to play? Joe believes he's not going to get traded this year. He's not going to play for the Packers. He believes Aaron Rodgers for 2020 will sit out this season. And I could not believe it. We've heard the retirement kind of thought being thrown out there over the weekend. Hey, he has jeopardy. If he's not liking what the Packers are giving him, he could sit out this year. And I thought, we've heard retirement as a threat before. I'm not going to truly take it seriously. This guy's coming off the MVP. He's not going to be sitting out 2021. So Joe kind of put the thought in my head of, maybe, he's onto something here. Maybe we should be considering this more than I was personally. I thought there was a 0% chance. So now I start to think about it. Now I start to chew on it. And what? Maybe he actually could. Knowing kind of and seeing how Aaron Rodgers is. And then we heard someone else talk about the future of Aaron Rodgers, and that is Brett Favre. You would think, hey, someone who knows Aaron Rodgers just a little bit, being on that Packers team and obviously going through everything he did go through with Aaron Rodgers. He was drafted to the Packers and then sitting behind Brett Favre for 3 years. So Brett Favre, on his Bowling with Favre podcast that dropped yesterday morning, he offered his opinion on what Aaron Rodgers will do in 2021. Take a listen.
Knowing Aaron, and I think I know him fairly well, if he has a grudge, whether it be against the organization or a player or an arch rival or family, friends, he ain't budging. I don't see him coming back.
You got to be kidding me. This is the internet. Hold on. Let's see if we can just pause this. Let's see. This internet. Okay. All right. Well, that's half the clip. Well, the money clip, the part that actually is important that Brett Favre now we can't listen to because of this great internet that we have here in this makeshift studio until we're back into our old studios on Thursday or Monday. Today's Thursday, Monday. Brett Favre basically said he could see Aaron Rodgers sitting out. He does not see Aaron Rodgers playing for the Packers in 2021. And you know what? Not that I didn't believe Joe DeLuisio before, again, host of the Sharp Cheddar podcast, when he joined us on Monday, but he was the kind of the first person that actually truly made me think, could Aaron Rodgers truly sit out? Now you hear it from Brett Favre. Then you kind of also look at Aaron Rodgers' personality, how he is, how he's acted, how he's really been throughout his entire career. I am starting to believe more and more that if Aaron Rodgers isn't traded this year, if the Packers make this ugly, if they drag it out, they say, hey, listen, we're calling your bluff, you could go retire, we're not trading you, I truly do think Aaron Rodgers will sit out the 2021 season. Despite the fact that the Packers are close to the Super Bowl, despite the fact that he's coming off an MVP season. I truly do believe if things get ugly, he will sit out this season, and here's why. For Aaron Rodgers, this feud, this public display of frustration, leaking through sources, putting it out there publicly that he is frustrated not only with the organization, but specifically with Brian Gutekunst about how they handled the Jordan Love pick. To me, this isn't about winning. This isn't about money. This is about revenge. It is about proving a point. Russell Wilson wanted his voice heard within the organization. That's why he spoke out. Deshaun Watson wanted to trade because the Texans blatantly disobeyed what he said after promising, hey, we'll listen to you. Psych. We'll hear your input just to appease you. Roll your eyes. And we're going to do the complete opposite that you say. Aaron Rodgers is, through sources, putting his feelings out there because he wants revenge. He wants revenge on Brian Gutekunst for the embarrassment that Gutekunst served up to Rodgers this time last year. Because if you remember, again, the Packers, not only did they trade up to draft Jordan Love in the first round, coming off a 13-3 year going to the NFC title game, they didn't even tell their franchise quarterback. Aaron Rodgers was like me and you last year watching the draft. He had zero clue what the Packers are doing. So when we were all surprised, sitting there like, whoa, did they just really draft Jordan Love in the first round? They did that. But how we were surprised, because, we didn't see this coming, Aaron Rodgers was equally as surprised because he didn't see it coming. I mean, hell, if you look at this draft, you've had the 49ers and John Lynch call Jimmy Garoppolo, hey, we're trading up to number 3. We're going to draft a quarterback. You had the Minnesota Vikings call Kirk Cousins, say, hey, Kirk, heads up, we're probably going to take a quarterback later in the draft. They took Kellen Mond in round 3. You have the Minnesota Vikings treating Kirk Cousins with more respect than the Packers did with Aaron Rodgers. Do you think Aaron Rodgers doesn't realize that? I think he just forgot that, hey, he was playing good cop all season long, didn't really publicly put out his frustration with the organization, really throughout any point in 2020. He didn't forget. This was all calculated. This is all about taking power back from the Packers. Because right now, they have the power because they thought they were able to string Aaron Rodgers along. They drafted Love in 2020. They had Aaron Rodgers be their quarterback in 2020. They're going to have him probably be their quarterback in 2021, but they took it on a year-by-year basis. Every time Brian Gutekunst spoke this offseason, he was very non-committal about the future of Aaron Rodgers. Hey, Aaron's our quarterback for the foreseeable future. Hey, we're not going to restructure Aaron's contract because guess what that does? That puts more money down the line on his contract, and that means when we cut him or when we trade him, that money is going to be sitting on our cap. It's going to be dead money. We're going to have to eat it. So we're not going to do that because right now the dead cap money is very low because there's no guaranteed money left on Aaron Rodgers' deal after this year. So they were going to string Aaron Rodgers along on a year-by-year basis, basically saying, hey, when is Jordan Love ready? Not 2021. Okay, we'll have Aaron Rodgers here. Maybe in 2022, we'll gear for life after Rodgers will get Love on the field. Well, if you're Rodgers, why would you want to be strung along? You are an all-time great quarterback. You're one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback, in your franchise's history. And now you're going to be embarrassed, one, on draft night, by them trading up to take a quarterback without you even knowing about it. And then two, they're going to string you along year by year. Every time they don't commit to you, it's just another slap in the face, more disrespect to who you are and what you've accomplished as a quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. And we're supposed to think he's okay with it or that he forgot and it's all water under the bridge? No. That's why, to me, this time last week, a few hours from now, when Adam Schefter first floated out there that Aaron Rodgers is done with the organization, he wants to trade. Then we have subsequent reports, Charles Robinson saying basically, hey, only way Aaron Rodgers is returning is if Brian Gutekunst is fired. This is about revenge. It's not getting another receiver. It's not having your voice heard in maybe, free agency. It is embarrassing the people who embarrassed him. So I do think when push comes to shove, if the Packers say, Aaron, we're not trading you, not now, not after June 1st when the salary cap hit lowers for the Packers, we are keeping you for 2021. I truly do think at this point, 100% chance Aaron Rodgers does not play for the Packers. As long as Brian Gutekunst is the general manager, as long as a new contract isn't done, he has the current contract that he has right now, 3 years. But again, because there's no guaranteed money, the Packers have it out really whenever they want. If there's no contract, no new contract, no guaranteed contract that basically keeps him there through the rest, at least, of the Jordan Love deal. If there's no trade of Jordan Love and if Brian Gutekunst is still the general manager, there is zero chance, to me in my mind, Aaron Rodgers is playing for the Packers in 2021. I truly do think he will sit out. Because this is a guy, again, this is not a normal NFL player. This is a guy who holds grudges. Think about it. We don't know all the details, but what we do know about his personal life is that he hasn't talked to his family in years. I don't know why. I don't know what caused it. I don't know truly if they've been behind closed doors talking or not. Publicly, he hasn't talked to his family in years. This is a guy that is still upset about the Green Bay Packers cutting Jake Kumerow. Now, if you don't know who Jake Kumerow is, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. He is a 53 guy or guy 53 on a 53-man roster. He was cut basically the day last year, right before the season started. He was cut right after Aaron Rodgers said, oh man, Jake Kumerow, this guy's looking good in training camp. I think he'll make the team. He'll be on the squad. They cut him the next day. Aaron Rodgers felt embarrassed because here he is advocating for a receiver. And now again, he's not the best receiver on the team. He's not even a guy that's an NFL, quality receiver. This is a guy that once he was cut by the Packers, went through waivers. He's on the Bills practice squad the entire year. This is not some all-pro big-time receiver that the Packers cut that Aaron Rodgers is upset about. This is a last man on the roster kind of guy. Special teamer, maybe in a blowout, he'll come and play for you. And Aaron Rodgers still has thrown daggers and thrown small shots at in the media at the Packers within the 2020 season about them cutting Jake Kumaro. This is a guy who's like an elephant. He doesn't forget. So the draft day leak was all calculated. He waited for the perfect time to truly embarrass the organization. And now looking back on it, him playing the good cop, right? Him publicly not saying anything against the Packers. Sure, he said he was surprised. Sure, he said his future is a beautiful mystery. He didn't trash the organization one time after the Jordan Love pick up until last week. He made it seem like he is okay with the Packers stringing him along, having his replacement kind of get ready behind him, and whenever he's ready, Rodgers is going to be at the door. He kept it all quiet because he realized when you least suspected, that's how you kind of make the biggest impact. If we heard rumblings, if Aaron Rodgers was talking about how he's disgruntled with the Packers, we hear that after news about how he wants to trade. It's not as impactful because we could kind of see it coming. But he waited for the perfect time. A year later, when the Packers embarrassed him, he tried to embarrass the organization. So to me, this is truly why I do think he'll sit out. He goes through all this. The draft day leaks, wanting Brian Gutekunst fired, putting all these stories through different sources out there in the media. If he is not traded, and if he does play for the Packers in 2021, again, without Brian Gutekunst being fired and without getting a new deal that basically guarantees him the rest of his career in Green Bay, he gets embarrassed again. Aaron Rodgers gets embarrassed for the second time in a row because he put on this whole dance. He started this entire firestorm, and it ended up being for naught because he didn't follow through on what he said. I don't think this is a guy that would embarrass himself again by not following through on the threats. So whether you trade him, I think the Packers should. If they don't, I think this is a guy that sits out. He sits out for as long as the Packers want to hold on to him until they finally either cut him or trade him. So I think he's 100% serious. He's headstrong enough to make this move and to not budge, and I think that's what's going to happen.